You spoke about the army. Obviously, I have a military background as well, and it's something that I didn't really know about yet until I started watching your videos. But you don't really go on about it too much in the videos. So I think I watched
Nah.
one. I think I might have watched one video where you mentioned it, and instantly it was like, didn't even know that. And I
Well,
couldn't.
look at the hair.
No, well, I couldn't tell neither. I thought something might have give it away, but it didn't.
Nah.
So when did you join the army? Like you're the same age as me. I'm 34.
I'm 36 this time. This
Yeah.
month, I'm 36. Yeah, yeah. So
within
same.
2 years.
Millennials, mate. Millennials. That's what we are.
Yeah. And how?
Yeah. So I joined in 2001 and left in 2006. So I did like 5 years.
Yeah. I did 8 years.
It's a long time ago since I left, but yeah. So I joined. I finished school in 2000, and I was, like I said, I was kind of kicked out of home and living on my own. And then I just decided that I've just done a bit of writing about this actually. I'll go into that later though. I decided that I was going to not be the failure that I was expected to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like people were expecting me to sort of be a bit of a failure, I think, because and so I joined the army, and smashed it, man. Like I got through basic training, went to Catterick, did second phase training, and then I was in the Coldstream Guards, so
Right.
joined my regiment. I wasn't allowed to be deployed anywhere because I was young. I was like 17 when I got in.
Yeah.
So I was young.
You joined straight from the off as a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Like still a boy, really.
Yeah.
And then I got joined up and learned very quickly that if you talk to men that have been to war cheekily, if that's even a word, with a bit of disrespect in there,
Yeah.
they give you a swift knock to the jaw. And
Yeah, I mean, I joined 2 years after. I joined 2 years later. I joined when I was 18, so I went to college for 2 years, and then joined when I was 18. But I was in the Territorial Army for a year before I went in, because I wanted to see what it was like, and I loved it, and I wanted more. So I knew I should probably join. Long story short, I had a friend that had joined and hated it. And I thought, well, if I join, I'm going to be tied in to 4 years of hating something. And it was a grandparent of mine again that said, why don't you just join the TA? You know, it's you see what it's like. If you don't like it, you don't have to go. You can can it at any time. But knowing me, I went. It was all outdoorsy. I was loved it when we was away for 2 weeks on exercise. So I was like, I should join. So I ended up joining. And then I again was based for the last 4 years anyway, at least. I was based up at Catterick with the medics out of Gaza Barracks. I got there. I got back from Afghan.
What regiment were you?
I was I was vehicle mechanic in the REME. So I was part of an LAD that was based in 3 Medical Regiment.
Yeah.
And we were based at Gaza Barracks, sort of just off the roundabout at the top near the big Tesco's. And our accommodation was in Vimy Barracks, which was down near the running track somewhere.
I know Vimy Barracks, man.
We used to cross the road and used to go up to this big outdoor area, where they do all the para training and all the
Did you ever get to see the Gurkhas training area?
No, I don't think so.
Mate, that was we used to see the Gurkhas quite often doing their thing on the drill square.
Yeah.
They weren't doing drill, they were doing taekwondo or something. It was insane.
Yeah, it's I spent 4 years there and in Catterick, so I know the place as well pretty well. What do you think? What do you think the main takeaways in the army were for you? Because you did 5 years, I did 8 years, and I've got sort of my own sort of things that I came away from it with. What do you feel like it taught you, or what sort of things did you come away with it from? Because it's different for everyone.
So I left, and then they got posted out to Afghanistan. So for a long time, I felt quite guilty. I felt like I should have stayed. But then at the same time, I was glad to have left. And when I look back now and reflect on it, I'm like, yeah, it was good that you left, because the life that I've led since leaving has been phenomenal. But the things that I've taken away from it are, I've got friends that are like, oh man, they're just, I don't know, the brothers, man. Like, we might not speak for years. Like, I've just reconnected with one of the guys who I met when I first went to my battalion, and as a 16-year-old or nearly 17-year-old little skinny runt of a boy walking into this room with this guy who is like is stacked, man, like naturally just this big dude. And I asked him a question. I think it was like, I found a CD in a locker in my bed space, and I asked him, is this your CD, Corporal? And he turned around and he was like, no, it's not, and do never talk to me again. Like, and I was like, whoa, I'm going to kick my head in. And he did. He proceeded. After that, he said sorry. He said, I'm sorry for talking to you like that. And then every day after that, he kicked my head in. And it was like, but he did it in a way that was, this kid needs to be strong. He needs some strength.
Yeah.
And then I left, and he's like, I never spoke to him. And I've recently got back in touch with him, actually, after doing the challenge that we've both done, the running challenge. And he's going to do it. And he was saying to me, I'm really inspired. Feel really inspired by you doing this fitness stuff and your mountain leader and all that. And I said to him, I was like, that's because of you. Like, you don't realize what you did for me.
It comes full circle, doesn't it?
It's like it's this, I don't know, this focus, this determination to get stuff done. Like,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've that we'll come on to that running challenge in a bit, because it leads me well into the next point. But before we do, I recently, having done that, I tagged a few people in it, and I thought, do you know what? I knew some people that would be well up for this back in the day, you know, and I tagged about 5 of them. And when I used to work as a PTI on Gaza Barracks, we had a young PTI that was training, that would work in the gym, and I tagged him in it because I don't know why, I see him on social media sometimes. He's quite a fit guy, he boxes and stuff, so I thought I'll just tag him in it. And that's the guy that's just been cracking on and doing it these last 2 days, and he's just gone and done it. So he finished it today at 12 o'clock, so about 2 o'clock. So I thought that's absolutely brilliant. And he's the same. He's sort of like, it's really satisfying to know that by not really doing much, like in my eyes, myself, other than going out and just getting it done, like you did and like others have, you know, before, that it could inspire someone so much to, you know, to dig deep and go and do it themselves. Yeah, so it's amazing, really.
Just look at, like, so the only reason that I feel like I follow David Goggins, which we're going to come on to in a bit, I know, but the only reason I really follow him, I think, is because the way he speaks is very much like, it's from the military, right? He's like barking orders at you, and it kind of sits well with me. I like it. It makes sense to me. It resonates with me, and I feel like he's connected with this audience outside of the military in such a way that is inspiring people to actually get fit and get healthy. And I think like if you've been in the military, you've got that built into you, sort of. It's been pushed into you.
Yeah.
You've been institutionalized to the point where there's nothing else you can think like. So I think, using that as a tool is powerful, man.
Well, again, that's something we spoke about the other day, that like you say, sometimes we can take it for granted, people that have been in, that can pick that up and draw on it, whereas a lot of other people, when you say that to them, they've not got it in the first place, and they have to go and find it first and get it in there so they can draw upon it later on. And that's what doing, in my eyes, that's what doing challenges like that embeds that inside of you if you haven't got it already, you know, and allows you to draw on it later on, you know, in life or in any other situation that you come to. But again, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I know a lot of people from when I was in the army that I thought to myself they were the type of David Goggins type leaders, you know, the shouty types, you do as I say, you just get it done. And a lot of those people don't seem to do so well out of the army. But David Goggins, and I think it's more because he just backs up what he says, you know. There's a lot of people out there that will go, just get it done because I say so. You know, David Goggins is more of the type, get it done because I say so and I'm doing it as well, you know. So he doesn't give you like, there's no out.
No, and what I like about him, and I think like talking about the military, that's one of the most difficult things is you wake up in the morning. When you're in the military, you wake up in the morning, you go down to the office, or you go down to the stores or whatever, and you've got like a sheet of paper on the wall, and it tells you where you need to be at what time, and all you've got to do is line up in 3 ranks, and you just get told what you're going to do, and it's like you do. I mean, it's not always like that. You have to use your initiative when you're out in the field. Obviously, you've got to use your initiative a lot, but there's procedures and there's drills in place that you just follow, and then when you come out into Civistry, that voice that tells you what to do all the time is gone, and you just all of a sudden you're just like, oh, like shit, what am I supposed to do? And you've got to find that voice within your own head that puts you on the right track.
Well, just thinking about that,
that took a long time.
Just thinking about that, what you just said there, it seems that like, because when we start, as soon as you start school and stuff like that, you get that sort of, albeit not as powerful, but you do have that routine, you know, like say you get up for school, you go in, you come out, you know, you go to your class at this time, you take your break for 15 minutes at this time, your lunch is at this time, and you sort of have that whilst you're in school, but once you leave school, unless you choose to, that's gone. You know, and, you know, there's those guys that can carry it on, maybe go, like you say, go into the military or whatever and carry on that sort of regimented lifestyle, and the others just go so far off the beaten path that, you know, it's deemed the point of no return for some of them, you know what I mean? It's crazy.